Have you ever heard that if you swallow gum, it stays in your stomach for 7 years? This is one of the most common myths about swallowing gum that many of us have heard since childhood. The idea that gum remains in your stomach for years has been passed down through generations, often told by parents to discourage children from swallowing gum. But is there any truth to this claim? Does gum really stay in your digestive system for 7 years? The reality is that this is completely false. While gum isn't digested in the same way as other foods, it definitely doesn't remain in your stomach for years. Your digestive system is quite efficient at moving things along. Gum, like anything else you swallow, passes through your digestive tract and is eliminated with other waste within a few days. Despite having no scientific basis whatsoever, this myth has persisted across generations. It's a perfect example of how misconceptions about our bodies can become widely accepted as fact. Now that you know the truth, you can help dispel this common myth about swallowing gum. Chewing gum is made of several key components that give it its unique texture and flavor. The main components include the gum base, which makes up 30 to 60%, sweeteners, which comprise another 30 to 60%, flavorings at 1 to 5%, softeners at 2 to 5%, and preservatives at less than 1%. Let's take a closer look at the gum base, which is the most important part for understanding what happens when gum is swallowed. The gum base contains synthetic polymers like polyethylene and polyvinyl acetate, elastomers that give gum its stretchy quality, sometimes natural chicle from tree sap, plus various resins, waxes, and fats that modify the texture. These polymers are long chains of molecules that give gum its chewy texture. They're also responsible for gum's resistance to digestion. Now let's look at the sweeteners and flavorings that make chewing gum enjoyable. Sweeteners can be traditional sugars or corn syrup in regular gum, or artificial sweeteners like xylitol or aspartame in sugar-free varieties. Flavorings include both natural and artificial compounds that create mint, fruit, or other flavors, while softeners like glycerin and vegetable oils help maintain a pleasant texture. Today's gum is quite different from traditional gum. Traditional gum was made from tree sap called chicle with simple natural ingredients. Modern gum uses synthetic polymers and complex chemical formulations to enhance texture and flavor and often contains artificial sweeteners. The key thing to remember is that the synthetic polymers in gum base are indigestible by human digestive enzymes. This is why gum passes through your digestive system largely intact when swallowed. Now that we understand what gum is made of, in the next section we'll explore what happens when gum travels through your digestive system. When gum is swallowed, it begins a journey through your digestive system. The journey begins in your mouth, where chewing has already released the flavors but left the gum base intact. When you swallow, the gum travels down your esophagus through muscular contractions called peristalsis, just like any other food. Next, the gum enters your stomach, where powerful acids attempt to break it down. Unlike most foods, however, the synthetic polymers in gum resist digestion. In the small intestine, any digestible components like sugars and flavorings are absorbed, but the gum base continues its journey intact. As the gum moves into the large intestine, water is absorbed from the remaining waste materials, but the gum base stays intact. Finally, the indigestible gum base is eliminated from the body with other waste materials, typically within 24 to 72 hours after being swallowed. Unlike most foods, the gum base remains largely intact throughout this journey through your digestive system. What happens when you swallow gum? Let's explore what your body can and cannot digest. Your digestive system is quite efficient at breaking down most foods you eat. It uses specialized enzymes to dissolve different components. When it comes to gum, your body can easily digest certain components like sugar, flavorings, and sweeteners. However, the main component of gum is the gum base, which is made of synthetic polymers similar to rubber. Your body lacks the necessary enzymes to break these down. Your digestive system produces specific enzymes that can break down carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. But it simply doesn't have enzymes capable of breaking down the synthetic polymers in gum base. Gum is not the only substance that passes through your system undigested. Plant fiber from vegetables, some seeds, and corn husks also travel through your digestive tract intact. Just like these other materials, the gum base simply passes through your digestive system and is eventually eliminated with other waste. Let's examine how long gum actually stays in your digestive system. When you swallow gum, it enters your digestive tract just like any other food. Scientific studies have carefully tracked gum through the digestive system using various methods. These studies consistently show that gum typically passes through your system in 24 to 72 hours. Despite not being able to digest the gum completely, your body's natural peristalsis efficiently moves it through your digestive tract. This time frame is similar to how long other indigestible materials take to pass through your system. In summary, gum typically passes through your system in 24 to 72 hours, just like other materials your body cannot fully digest. Is swallowing gum dangerous? Let's examine the facts. On a safety scale, occasional gum swallowing falls in the mostly safe category for most people. When you swallow gum, it passes through your digestive system just like other food. Unlike many foods, your body can't break down the gum base. However, this doesn't mean it stays in your system forever. For most people, swallowing gum occasionally is perfectly safe. Your body will pass it naturally within 1 to 3 days. However, swallowing large amounts of gum frequently could potentially cause problems, especially in small children. The important thing to remember is that for most people, an occasional swallowed piece of gum is not a cause for concern. While swallowing gum is generally harmless, there are rare complications that can occur. In some uncommon cases, swallowed gum can combine with other indigestible materials in the digestive tract. This can lead to the formation of masses, called bezoars, that may obstruct the intestines. Bezoars are indigestible masses that can form when gum combines with other materials that resist digestion. There are documented medical cases where intervention was required. In one case from 1998, a 4-year-old child had swallowed multiple pieces of gum that formed a mass with food particles. In another case from 2004, a teenager who regularly swallowed gum over 2 years developed a large bezoar that required endoscopic removal. However, it's important to understand that these complications are extremely rare and typically only occur after swallowing large quantities of gum over time. The risk factors for these complications include swallowing multiple pieces in a short time, having existing digestive disorders, or being a young child with a smaller digestive tract. Parents are often cautioned about children swallowing gum for good reason. Unlike adults, young children have significantly smaller digestive tracts. This size difference makes blockages more likely if they swallow non-digestible items like gum. Additionally, young children may not fully understand the concept of chewing something without swallowing it. Due to these concerns, it's recommended that children under the age of 5 shouldn't chew gum at all. Older children can chew gum, but should be taught proper gum etiquette, including proper disposal. This legitimate concern about children and gum is likely the origin of the widespread myth that gum stays in your system for 7 years. While the 7-year claim is just a myth, the caution about young children and gum is based on real anatomical and developmental considerations. Your body encounters many materials it cannot fully digest, not just chewing gum. Let's explore how your digestive system handles these indigestible substances. Chewing gum contains a synthetic rubber base that resists digestive enzymes. Dietary fiber, like cellulose in vegetables, naturally passes through your system undigested. Small seeds have hard outer coatings that protect them from being broken down. Even microplastics, which we may accidentally consume, cannot be digested by the body. Your digestive system is actually designed to handle materials it cannot break down using a process called peristalsis. These muscular contractions push indigestible materials along your digestive tract, allowing them to pass through your system within 24 to 72 hours. This natural process explains why gum and other indigestible items typically pass through your body without causing problems. Let's discuss the verdict on swallowed gum and what you should do about it. Here are the key takeaways from what we've learned. First, swallowing gum occasionally is generally harmless for most people. Contrary to popular myths, gum actually passes through your system in a few days, not years. However, proper disposal is still the best practice when you're done chewing. Now let's talk about some practical advice for parents regarding children and gum. Teach children to spit out gum when they've finished chewing it. Explain to them that gum is designed for chewing, not for eating or swallowing. Always supervise young children while they're chewing gum to prevent accidental swallowing. Finally, let's summarize the recommendations about swallowed gum. The best practice is to spit gum out when you're finished, not because swallowing is dangerous, but simply because gum isn't meant to be swallowed. Always dispose of your gum properly in a trash can. Remember, an occasional swallowed piece of gum is typically nothing to worry about, but making proper disposal a habit is always the best approach.